Alright guys, so we continue our draft series today where we look at positional groups from the upcoming draft and mainly positional groups that we would focus on as the Cincinnati Bengals. So for example, we started off with the tight end position, we looked at the top 15 prospects, and then we went ahead and moved on to the top 10 offensive tackles, mainly right tackles for this upcoming draft, and now we'll be looking at the top 10 cornerbacks for this upcoming drafts as well. Now keep in mind, we will most likely not take a cornerback in the first round unless crazily Kool-Aid is available in the first round, but other than that, most likely we're not going to. We'll probably take one in the second, third, or fourth. We have to replace Cheeto. We also need another rotational guy with Cam Taylor-Britt, Mike Hilton, and DJ Turner. So don't be surprised if we take one early, just not in the first round. Cooper DeJean is the best cornerback in this draft class. He is 6'1", 207 pounds out of Iowa. And the reason why I'm surprised is because the obvious elephant in the room, he's a white corner. There's been, the last time we have had a successful, great white corner in the NFL was Seahorn for the Giants back in 2007. Other than that, Riley Moss for the Broncos last year was a 4th round pick. He looks okay, but it usually doesn't happen. And this guy is ranked the number 1 corner in this draft. He is going to most likely be a top 15 pick. So we're not going to get this guy, but nonetheless, though, I'm interested to see how he does in the NFL. 6'1", 207 pounds, 4.5 40, 87% tackling, 88 run defense, 85 coverage, 82 zone, 83 man-sized press. His NFL comparisons are Christian Gonzalez, Martin Emerson, and Julius Brent. They could have said, they literally could have said Riley Moss, and that would have been hilarious. They should have said Riley Moss. But anyway, though, his strengths is he's extremely natural zone defender with a smooth back pedal and fluid corrective feel. Has the short area freedom to adjust his tempo while staying in phase and tracking. Can snap into phase and realign himself to trail wide receivers on fades and seam routes. Okay, not bad. Fleet-footed mover with an exceptional corrective twitch and recovery athleticism. Okay, so all things that, are good that he doesn't really have to work on too much once he gets to the NFL. But again, keep in mind, even these top guys on this list we're talking about, all of these guys are going to have to learn techniques, have to learn how to do certain things once they get to the NFL level, and they all will over time. His weaknesses, occasional wasted motion and press man can tug him too far off the line in open spaces. At times, he can better channel recovery speed out of transitions to close gaps. And again, like I said, all this stuff going to be based on technique that a good DB coach will teach him. Muscle-bound frame prevents him from fully sinking and redirecting on occasion. This is something that's not teachable. I mean, a good trainer could help him lose muscle mass, which of course could help him in this perspective, but this is the only thing here out of all these that is not teachable is this one right here. Everything else here can be taught / perfected with a good DB coach. Muscle-bound frame, his frame cannot be taught. A good trainer can help him, but when you use a top 15 pick on a guy, you kind of want him to go out there and be really good day one. So, that'll be interesting. Nate Wiggins from Clemson, 6'2", 185 pounds. 4.55 40, okay. 63% tackling, 67 run defense, 85 coverage, 83 zone, and 80 man/press. His NFL comparisons are Joey Porter Jr., Eli Ricks, and Darius Rush. I want to see somebody get an NFL comparison for Eli Apple, and I will laugh. Demonstrates patience and strategic use of eye discipline and footwork in man coverage scenarios. quick to close space between him and the receiver, effectively using the sideline as an additional defender on a vertical routes. Skilled in reading and reacting to route concepts from a distance, enhancing his ability to disrupt passes. Okay, what's wrong with him? Lacks can't read this word correctly. Optimal burst for recovery on vertical routes, potential leaving space for separations. While proficient in ball technique, his back pedal could be more fluid and less segmented. Yeah, I said it right. Could show more enthusiasm and commitment in run defense while tackling that is adequate but not exceptional. So again, these are all things that could be taught, could benefit from adding more muscle mass. So he needs to add more muscle mass to him. That's something a good trainer is going to add to him and help him. All these other things are just, technique problems that need to be perfected. And again, when you see these first couple guys, you're going to see that, right? That's just how it works. All these guys in the very beginning are just going to be guys that needs to work on A, B, C, or D, right? Kool-Aid McKinsley. This is a guy that if we could potentially get in the first round, I could see us taking. I don't think he's going to be available when we pick, but it's possible. I think he will be the first corner off the board personally. 6'1", 195 from Alabama. The reason why I like him so much is not because he runs a 4.5540, it's because of how good he is in run defense. So he has a 91% grade in run defense, tackling is 88, coverage is a 95, zones a 90, and man press is a 91. So he can pretty much do a little bit of everything, which is why I love him so freaking much. Patrick Surtain II is his NFL comparison, Manuel Forbes, and Martin Emerson. Exhibits exceptional awareness in zone coverage, consistently reading and reacting to the quarterback in unfolding plays, boosts impressive length, leveraging it to disrupt passes and intimidate receivers with his extended reach. Admirably skilled in bump and run, utilizing foot quickness and hip fluidity to mirror and challenge receivers instantly. Nice. And then his weakness is he allows wide receivers to stack him deep, needs to tighten vertical phase, and deny deep balls leverage to migrate NFL level aerial threats. So I'm trying to see. So I was kind of trying to read to see if there's any of these that are going to be technique. If these are all technique or some of them are non-techniques. Yeah, no, these are all techniques. These are all techniques things. Struggles against physical route runners, especially on sharp breaks. Must sharpen mirroring against agile physical receivers in short intermediate games. So yeah, so techniques. A good DB coach will teach him that. Displays choppy transitions and ball technique during zone looks, hips, and pedal needs smooth to stifle comebacks and curls effectively. So yeah, so it's all just technique things. Now that we're past the top 3, right? And maybe the top 4, I would say, we're going to now start getting into things that, it says, hey, listen, this guy just doesn't have a big enough body to be able to go against NFL competition. We're going to start seeing that probably. 6 foot tall, 196 pound from Alabama. We have Taron Arnold from Alabama. He ran a 4.4540. He has an 81% tackling, 95 run defense, 90 coverage, 80 zone, 88 man/press. His NFL comparisons is Devon Witherspoon, Trent McDuffie, and Christian Gonzalez. What he's good at, his strengths, consistent heavy hitting tackler, wraps up well, could play safety. Okay. Aggressive approach to downfield plays against screens. Fluid hips and great explosion aid in transition and recovery phases. The reason why I did my thing with my eyes is because we need a guy who can play corner and safety. That would be the ultimate for us to get a 1-2 punch here, who could also maybe put in the box like a linebacker. That'd be nice. Shows patient and aggressive at the offensive line, especially when playing inside. Okay. Weakness. On the average, as a zone corner in cover 3 leverage, needs to trust his athleticism more and not allow easy completions on stop routes. When there's no threats in his zone, he must process cross-field threats quicker, show some growth, but is still less comfortable when playing in the slot. While physical, can be prone to drawing penalties due to over-aggressiveness and man coverage. Occasionally misjudges balls, trajectories on deep passes, leading to overcommitment or underestimating of receivers' reach. So again, all technique. None of that is telling me that he can't get the job done. What that's telling me is someone needs to teach him how to make sure he's not doing those things and he gets better at those things. That's all practice. Nothing is going to teach you better than a DB coach in the NFL. Cameron Kitchens. 6 foot tall, 205 from the U. Sorry. He ran a 4.4540. Okay. He has a 60 tackling, 73 run defense, 76 coverage, 75 zone, and 73 man-size press. This sounds like a project, and a late round project. His NFL comparison is Cam Taylor-Britt, Andre Cisco, and Sidney Brown. Wait, we have both these guys, right? Sidney Brown. Yeah. No, he's on the Eagles. Okay. Who do we have? We have Sidney Brown? Sidney Jones. Okay, never mind. I'm an idiot. Flashes some physicality as a hitter. He's physical at the line of scrimmage, show unexpected power in his hands. Willing in run support, coming downhill quickly when Kitchens has a chance to make a play. Good strength to tackle, plays with a high energy, and is tough-minded overachiever. Okay. Weaknesses. NFL quarterbacks may take advantage of his aggressiveness in man and zone. Technique. Figure that out. Tends to play conservatively and give up too much cushion when playing off. This could be a technique issue, or this could be a problem of he's not fast enough to keep up with receivers. And he knows if he plays oft enough, he can recover well enough. Because the problem is, when you're going against someone who's really fast, like Tyreek Hill, you never want to be pressed up against them, right? Because if they beat your press, if they beat the release, they're gone. Completely gone. If you can't recover, you're out of luck, right? So that's another thing. This might be a speed problem, which you can't teach speed. You're born with speed. Plays out of control too often, laying a lot of big hits, but also missing a lot of tackles along the way. Kitchens also needs to do a better job reading routes when sitting back at a single high safety. So it sounds like he needs discipline. It sounds like he needs to get a lot more discipline from a DB coach or a good defensive coordinator. Kamari Lassiter. Georgia, 6 foot tall, 180 pounds. He is 4.5840. Okay. 87% tackling, 79% run defense, 90% coverage, 86% zone, and 84% man/press. Devon Witherspoon, Martin Emerson, and Trent McDuffie are his NFL comparisons. Okay. Fluid athlete with the ability to match perimeter wideouts in the NFL. Traditional quickness is a standout trait. The reason why I read that so slowly is because that's his standout trait, is his quickness. Okay. I'm thinking about what I would want as a standout trait for my cornerback. I guess quickness could be good. I mean, that's good, obviously, but I would want kind of play rec a little bit more, like play recognition, figure out what the play's happening, maybe NFL knowledge. I don't know. Displays an impressive vertical route coverage due to his swift transitional quickness. Really going on that one, aren't they? Demonstrates aggressive physicality at the line, dictating route stems with noticeable velocity. Okay. Despite his aggression, he is at risk of being overpowered by his more physical runners due to his lean physique. A good trainer will help him on that. Add more muscle mass to his body. So he needs to add more muscle mass to his body. So he's like a really aggressive small guy, pretty much. Like, so he gets aggressive with players and tries to be aggressive, and then he gets thrown the F back. Okay, interesting. Needs to develop his ball skills, has a history of losing assignments when transitioning or looking back for the football. Shows a tendency to rely on grabbing to enhance disruptiveness, which results in penalties during his initial starting year. This just sounds like he can't cover. So being overpowered seems like he can't really tackle that much. And it seems what happens is he gets more aggressive for the ball and on the receiver or the running back or whoever because he can't cover them. So he's trying to like hold them or grab them and be more aggressive so he doesn't get beat. This doesn't seem like he can cover well. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. It doesn't seem like he can cover that well. Tyler Nubin from Minnesota, 6'2", 210 pounds. He is a safety. Again, we're looking at safety cornerback combo here. And actually now we're getting into safeties. Wait, was this last guy a safety? No, okay, so that was the end of the cornerback area. Now we would get into the safeties. I don't know. Wait, hang on. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I don't know why it went to safeties then. Here we go. I was going to say I don't know if I want to cover safeties in this video, but literally the next guy on the list is right here. So I don't know why it went to cornerbacks. I mean safeties. All right, we have Mitchell, 6 foot tall, 196 pounds from Toledo. 4.55 40. 77% tackling, 70. Let me make sure we covered everyone here. Yeah, we did. Okay, so I don't know why it went out there, but 76 run defense, 90 coverage, 86 zone, and 89 man-sized press. His NFL comparisons are Devon Witherspoon, Trent McDuffie, and Martin Emerson. He has elite athletic skills. Whenever I read that for any player, I think, well, this guy sucks. Guy's an athlete, and that's pretty much it. Flashes, intimidating attitude, and will crush tiptoeing receivers across the middle. Did he write this, or did the website write this? Because I'm starting to think he might have wrote that line. Very aggressive attacking of receivers, blocks, and tackles like a safety. Attacks the ball with authority, with quick read and reaction, reactability, willing and physical tackle. Flashes toughness and aggressive nature versus the run. With all these positive things, I feel like his downfall is going to be so bad. There's only 3. Okay. Mitchell runs well, but he doesn't have elite recovery speed. Okay, so he's not fast enough. Has a high back pedal and loses a step in transition. Plays with adequate speed, but there are concerns with his ability to handle the truly explosive speedster of the NFL. Gave up far too many big plays in college, especially concerning since Mitchell has recovery speed to make up for his missteps. It sounds like he's not fast enough. And that's going to be a problem in the NFL. So he might play safety. He might not play corner. I don't think he can go man-on-man with somebody. I think he would have to play safety. All right, so our next guy we have here is Rakeshaw Jr. from Missouri. Okay. 79 offense, because obviously some players play offense and defense. Tackling grade we have is a 82%. Run defense 90, coverage 87, zone is 76, and man-sized press is 88. NFL comparisons is going to be Cam Smith of the Dolphins, who was I think first round, or he was a first round pick I think last year or the year before that. Devon Witherspoon and Sean Wade. Stays low in his back pedals and shows the click and close ability to break up plays in front of him. Rakeshaw can move well laterally and show excellent instincts when looking in the backfield and zone coverage. He has a nice blend of strength, speed, and quickness. He's at his best mirroring routes underneath, showing fluid movement skills and the ability to change direction on a dime. Had the fluidity, speed, and quick feet to come down and defend slot receivers in man coverage. He also does a nice job breaking down in space as a tackler after the catch. Okay. Too often gives up too much cushion while playing man coverage. Again, like I said, this is something you really can teach, but you kind of can't. This might be a problem of he's not fast enough to keep up with people. Fails to maintain inside technique in man coverage, not a press corner. Not a press corner because he might not be fast enough to catch up with people. Gave up too many big plays in college, especially when his recovery speed can make up for the missteps. So it's the same old with a lot of these guys. It's simply that they cannot keep up with college level players. And if you can't keep up with college level players, I hate to tell you this, everyone in the NFL is fast. And there's a lot of fast players in the NFL. TJ Tampa. That's a miss. He can go to Tampa. Iowa State, 6'2" and 200 pounds. 4.4540. He has a 62% tackling grade, 80 run defense, 89 coverage, 85 zone, and 87 man-sized press. Martin Emerson, Darius Rush, and Riley Moss. Hey! So they give my man Riley Moss NFL comparison to this guy, TJ Tampa, but they don't do it for the first guy in the draft? Really? Eugene? That's the best NFL comparison. Plays with natural balance and ultra quick feet to mirror underneath. And he's tremendous at reading routes and reading quarterbacks. Does a good job getting his head around in time while playing with his back to the line of scrimmage. Has the ability to cover quickness underneath. Can track the ball downfield and gets his head around when playing in a trail position. And Tampa, okay, weird because that's actually a team, shows excellent ball skills when breaking on a route. He's a plus tracker in run support as well. Nice. Weakness. Not fully consistent on making the interception in front of the receivers. Best lined well off the line of scrimmage due to high, stiff back pedal. Feet aren't ideal as Tampa gets sloppy in his back pedal and can be sluggish when transitioning to close the ball. A suspect technician who too often gets the action comes to him and energy and efforts are too inconsistent. So, seems like all things other than speed that he can work on with a good coach or good DB coach. All technique he needs to work on. Kalen King, 5'11" from Penn State. Okay. 4.540. 62% grade tackling, 75 run defense, 72 coverage, 67 zone, 75 man-sized press. Garrett Williams, Aaron Robinson, and Bennett are his NFL comparisons. I really haven't heard of any of these guys, which is crazy. That happens sometimes, though, with some of these players. King's combative style and coverage denies receivers easy catches, and his presence is consistently felt throughout the game due to his competitive nature. His footwork and agility allows for smooth transitions when shadowing receivers, leveraging his quick twitch abilities to match up well in man coverage. As a zone defender, King showcases strong route recognition, adept at carrying and passing off assignments with a keen eye on quarterback activity. Okay. He seems like he has good football IQ. Reliance on a two-hand jam in press coverage sometimes results in penalties, with a need to refine technique to avoid holding calls. Encountered a notable setback against Ohio State where Marvin Harrison's advanced route tech exposed some of King's limitations in coverage. Marvin Harrison is also going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. I'm sure he exposed a lot of defensive backs this year. Displays a slight delay in reacting to snap releases, occasionally causing him to trail at the line of scrimmage and lose early assignments. That's all it sounds like things he needs to work on technique-wise. It seems like he's not perfect at his press, and he's not perfect at going one-on-one with a guy, but he just needs to work on that, and a good DB coach will teach him that. It could be a problem with speed, but I don't see any problem there that said speed or he couldn't catch a guy or he can't keep up with a player. He's not giving cushion. He's going one-on-one with the guy at the line of scrimmage. He's trying to, press him and use his strength. 6 foot tall, 190 pound Josh Newton from TCU. 4.640. There's a joke that said you never take a cornerback from TCU. 71% tackle, 77% run defense, 86% coverage, 85% zone, and 78% man size press. Kobe Bryant from Cincinnati, who's currently on the Seahawks. Mario Goodrich and Asante Samuel Jr. are his NFL comparisons. Fluid mover with decent speed, and his length allows him to cover effectively downfield. Newton has a good size and is a fluid mover, capable of mirroring quickness underneath. Good instincts and anticipation, reads and reacts with discipline. Dangerous with the ball in his hands. He's physical at the line of scrimmage, showing unexpected power with his hands. Okay. Has average long speeds and body flexibility. Zone Pacific prospect who is likely to only fit in nickel or dime packages with hold up. This is why he's going to be probably a third or fourth round pick, I would assume, because if he's only good at like nickel and dime packages, predominantly man-to-man teams. Okay. Gets sloppy with his back pedal when playing off man and seems to lack the instincts to close on the ball. Yeah, so it's a problem of man coverage. He's only good in certain zones. And that might be a problem of the college he played for. I'm not saying TCU is an awful college or not, but it might be that he wasn't exposed / utilized as much in offense in college. In defense in college to get those kind of reps. And there's all things that could be worked on in the NFL. But again, this is one of those things where this guy is a project. So we're going to have to, if you pick him up, you're going to have to teach him. You're going to have to hope he can pan out correctly. And you don't know what's going to happen. So it's all projects right there. Anyway, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, though. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.